Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're stepping right into the sci-fi noir reality of a dark underground laboratory to audit what source documents describe as literally the most deeply classified black project in American history. We are breaking down a highly rigorous, highly secretive program known as Project Looking Glass. We're going to explore the wild claims, the mind-bending physics, and the frankly terrifying timeline that this technology supposedly uncovered.
Okay, let's dive into this, because the foundational premise of these documents immediately challenges everything we think we know about the limits of physics. The core question posed by the source material is essentially this. What if the military didn't build a physical machine to travel backward through time, but instead constructed a colossal quantum computer to intercept and view the shifting probabilities of the future?
So to really grasp this, we've got to throw out all the Hollywood myths, right? We aren't talking about a DeLorean leaving burning tire tracks and physically transporting a human being into the past. According to the investigation we're auditing today, the military-industrial complex engineered an ultimate intelligence-gathering tool. Project Looking Glass is described not as a vehicle, but as a temporal window. It's a machine designed specifically to calculate and then visually render the mathematical outcomes of parallel dimensions and future events.
Now, the documents claim this tech is managed by the absolute deepest layers of the military, industrial, and intelligence apparatus. We're talking about a breakaway architecture of secrecy that operates entirely in the black. Just imagine a sprawling web of defense contractors and intelligence agencies operating completely off the books, functioning far, far beyond the reach of any standard congressional oversight or public knowledge, all to guard this one singular device. Section 1. The Mechanics, Building the Impossible.
So how on earth do you actually build something like this? Well, according to highly vetted whistleblowers cited in the text, the blueprints didn't originate from human minds. The hardware is allegedly based on recovered, non-human technology that was locked away at the infamous S4 facility, which sits just south of Area 51. The documents note that this device uses the exact same extreme physics found in advanced anti-gravity craft. Think of the magnetic field disruptors of the rumored TR-3B, but instead of using that physics to fly, Project Looking Glass applies it to optics.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the pseudo-physics of how they supposedly make this work, because it's absolutely mind-bending. Step 1 involves a massive superconducting torus, which is essentially a giant metal donut. Step 2, they inject argon gas right into this ring. And Step 3 is where it gets truly wild. They take a highly pressurized liquid metal mercury plasma and use immense electromagnetic fields to spin it at near relativistic speeds. We're talking tens of thousands of revolutions per minute. Just picture the sheer engineering absurdity of trying to safely power a machine with hyper-spinning liquid mercury.
Section 2. Bending local spacetime. The source material leans heavily on Einstein's theory of general relativity to explain this whole process, specifically a phenomenon known as frame dragging, or the lens-thirring effect. To de-jargonize this a bit, imagine dipping a spoon into a thick jar of honey and giving it a spin. The honey naturally twists and drags around the spinning spoon, right? Well, in this scenario, space-time is the honey, and that hyper-spinning liquid metal plasma is the spoon. The machine generates such sheer gravitational force that it literally twists and warps the local space and time right around it.
And when you spin this immensely heavy, highly energized mass fast enough in a highly specific configuration, the mathematics of relativity state that you can generate what are called Closed Timelike Curves, or CTCs. The documents claim this extreme frame dragging creates a localized anomaly. Imagine a whirlpool forming in a fast-flowing river. It creates a localized loop or a literal tear in the normal linear flow of time.
The resulting visual of this process is breathtakingly described in the text as a macroscopic quantum interferometer. Basically, in the dead center of this spinning ring, a localized gravitational lens forms. It acts as a holographic window. The claim here is that intelligence agencies can literally peer into this anomaly, intercepting light and data from parallel dimensions to watch global conflicts or market collapses before they even happen. It is, for all intents and purposes, the ultimate oracle.
Section 3. The 2012 Convergence Anomaly.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because possessing the ultimate intelligence gathering tool comes with a terrifying downside. Prior to roughly the year 2012, the machine operated by showing multiple different probabilities and timeline variations based on our choices. But whistleblowers report that as they approached 2012, the looking-glass computer calculated a massive anomaly. All future timelines were rapidly compressing into a single unavoidable bottleneck. No matter what variables they altered in the present, every single calculation pointed toward an inevitable mass awakening of human consciousness.
The source text actually states this bluntly. The machine mathematically predicted the deep state's own defeat. The document suggests that this impending convergence, this great awakening, would permanently shatter the control grid managed by what the text referred to as the Archonic deep state. The timeline simply locked them out of their own future. There was no way around it.
Section 4. The Archon counterattack. So, think about it. How does a global control system react when its own multi-billion-dollar quantum oracle tells it that mathematical doom is certain? Well, according to the source material, with an all-out assault on the human environment. The documents assert that the modern crises we see unfolding today are not random acts of nature or isolated political blunders. No, they claim this is a panicked, deliberate acceleration of engineered chaos by the Archonic system. We are talking about global pandemics, engineered wars, infinite money printing to destabilize economies, and extreme censorship. The claim is that all of this is functioning as a coordinated counterattack against human consciousness.
So the crucial point is that the deep state is allegedly fighting a war against time itself. They are utilizing a psychological mechanism known as the Hegelian dialectic, creating a massive problem to force a panicked reaction just so they can swoop in and offer a totalitarian solution. The text characterizes this entire operation as a desperate, mathematically futile attempt to break the convergence and maintain the prison. Which leaves us with a profound question to wrap up our explainer today. If the source material is accurate, and a quantum machine built from non-human technology calculated that an awakening of human consciousness is a mathematical certainty, can engineered chaos truly break that inevitability? Or is the system simply thrashing against the inescapable math of its own defeat? It's a fascinating, honestly terrifying framework to view our rapidly changing world through, and it for sure leaves us with a lot to think about.